Hi everyone, my name is Chris with Intrepid Loaders. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the ins and outs of Intrepid articulating loaders. We're going to walk you through the operation of the machine. We're going to walk you through some technical specifications and obviously the controls of the machine. Intrepid loaders are made in Belgium. They're high quality, high performance, and highly multifunctional machine. Every Intrepid loader has the same joystick. The joystick contains functions for the auxiliary hydraulics, forward, neutral, reverse, teleboom in and out if it has a teleboom. The joystick also has a switch to switch the auxiliary 12-volt plug on the boom. And if we have a Yanmar engine in our machine, which would be the KM180 or the KM250, the button on the bottom of the joystick switches from speed 1 to speed 2. When you operate the auxiliary hydraulics or the teleboom on the joystick, you'll see one of two little levers behind the joystick move. These little levers take over from the buttons. They are a direct operation on the hydraulic valve block below the joystick. When you're seated on the loader, you'll notice a battery kill switch by your right knee. The battery kill switch is there if you're storing the machine for longer periods of time, and it's also a good safety feature against theft. It's a key that you can take out and take with you. On the dashboard, we have several buttons, including the LED work light button. We have the horn button. We also have the diff lock button to switch the diff lock. And we have a button that switches the hydraulics on and lets it stay in a continuous flow. That way, in case you're running a auger or a sweeper, you don't have to press down on the hydraulics all the time. When the diff lock is not turned on and you steer, you'll notice that all wheels at the front are spinning. But when the diff lock is activated and you steer, you'll notice that one wheel starts locking up. An important thing to notice here is not to drive with the diff lock on at all times, but only when you need it. If you drive with the diff lock on at all times, this is very hard on the steering cylinder and the wheel motors. When starting the loader, make sure it is in neutral. When it's in forward or reverse, the machine won't start. When you start the machine, you click the key one step forward, you'll hear the fuel pump running. Then click it forward once more and a glow plug light will come on. Make sure to only start the machine when the glow plug light comes off. That way the engine is preheated and then you can start the loader. To start driving a machine after you've started the loader, make sure your seatbelt is fastened. Otherwise, you won't be able to put it in forward or reverse. You'll notice on the left-hand side of the machine, there is a plug. This plug is for the heater. If it is very cold outside, is it below freezing, we recommend to plug it in about 2 hours prior to starting the machine. That way you have a warm engine before you start it. You'll notice on the left-hand side of the steering column, there is the hand throttle lever. The hand throttle lever is very useful if you want to set your RPM to a desired level. To activate the hand throttle on the KM180 and the KM250, you press mode 2 on the touchscreen, and then you turn this little button to set your RPM. This is useful when you have like an hydraulic attachment, like an auger or a sweeper or a mower that requires a constant hydraulic flow. You want to keep it running at high power. All Intrepid loaders have an inching pedal on the left-hand side of the steering column and a throttle pedal on the right-hand side of the steering column, with the forward, neutral, reverse on the joystick. The inching pedal is there to stop the flow of hydraulics to the 4 independent hydraulic wheel motors. To lock the attachment in place on the KM85 and the KM100, you just lift up the pin and drop it down. The KM85 and the KM100 are equipped with mini skid steer universal mount plates. On our Intrepid loaders KM130 and up, to lock the attachment, you'll notice that we have a red lock button on the dashboard. To mount the attachment, you press and hold that red lock button while operating the lever behind the joystick. Intrepid loaders are the fastest loaders on the market when it comes to this size class. That's why it's important to always keep your load and the boom low to the ground. It is dangerous to drive with the boom up in the air. Intrepid articulating loaders both articulate and oscillate, meaning that the front and back part of the machine swivel independent of each other. This means that when you're driving over a piece of rock or a curb, that 4 wheels are always maintaining contact with the ground. This improves operator comfort and is also safer for stability. Intrepid loaders also have a very tight turning radius, meaning that the machine is very maneuverable in tighter areas. All Intrepid loaders have free bumper type counterweights on the back for increased stability and lifting capacity. You notice as well that all Intrepid loaders are made in such a way that the operator is seated above the engine. That makes it so that there's no big tail where the engine is, and we don't have that tail swing that you see with other machines. On all Intrepids, the battery is located on the right-hand side of the machine. You use a metric 10 and a metric 13 to take it off. Every red cover on the Intrepid loader comes off, providing easy access to the battery, filters, and other components of the machine. The seat comes up like this. This gives you excellent access to the filters and the engine of the machine. For additional service access, you can take the side panels off. All Intrepid loaders, except the KM250, come with the option of dual wheels. This means that we take a smaller wheel and add 2 of them on one hub. The added advantage of this is extra stability and even less impact on the surface you're driving on. The process of taking the outer wheel off is really simple on the KM85, 100, and 130. It entails taking one big bolt out of the middle and it pops the outer tire off. So if you need to go through a smaller gate, you can easily do that. We have an attachment with hydraulic lines like these. We want to make sure that the machine side hydraulics are depressurized. In order to do that, you want to turn the machine off and move the little levers behind the joystick back and forth a little bit. That releases the pressure off the lines on the machine. So then we can go ahead and connect them. We connect male to female and female to male. To take the hydraulic lines off, you make sure that the bead matches up with the little notch. If there's still issues with connecting this attachment, it could be that there's pressure on the lines itself, and that means you need to pop the fitting on the hydraulic attachment line itself. As always, thanks for watching. Intrepid loaders also have a warranty of 1,000 hours and 2 years, whichever comes first. If you're interested in Intrepid articulating loaders, visit miniloaders.com for all the specs and information you need. Thanks.